So I got emailed on Instagram to watch this video about Aaron Preach. Okay, I already knew about the situation, right? People tell me, "Hey, bro, you're glorious king." This is how the guy typed it. This is a guy, someone I know, right? He told me, "Say, dude, your glorious king is a deadbeat dead, and now this situation will happen." Then I had to come jump to it. I don't choose sides. Let's just get to the situation and just yeah, let's jump into it.
Hi, my name is Libby, and
Okay.
I was a girlfriend of Abba from Abba and Preach. We were together for 5 months and involved with each other for about 8 months total, but 5 months of that was a serious, committed relationship. I know when someone thinks 5 months, they think what can really happen in 5 months, but I think most would agree the first 5 months of a relationship can feel very intense and be filled with a lot of love. And that means you can feel the opposite of that intensity if things are not aligning or if things are not compatible. I'm going to be talking about a pregnancy in which Abba ultimately walked away from. And I'm going to be talking about the difficulties and the emotionally harmful interactions I've had with Abba. I want to acknowledge something up front, and that is I know exactly who I'm speaking about. I know exactly who Abba is. Abba is articulate. He is persuasive and he is calculated. Abba is the king of receipts. And anyone who really knows Abba would not willingly put themselves in the position I'm putting myself in right now, unless their experience was significant enough to speak on. I'm not here to cause spectacle. This is all informational, and I'll just leave it up for interpretation. I met Abba July of 2025, last year, and it was really fun, and it was really interesting, and it was honestly full of love. 4 months into the relationship, I start to see incompatibilities and inconsistencies that made me question the relationship and started to make me feel doubt. Ironically, as I started to feel those doubts, I found out I was pregnant.
Damn.
I was very nervous, but I knew I wanted to keep the child. I told Abba about the pregnancy, and he was actually very supportive. He was very excited. He always talked about how much he wanted children, and he said he was sure about the pregnancy, and he said that he was always very sure about me. I, however, did not feel sure about Abba. Like I had mentioned, I started to see some core fundamental differences with our values, our lifestyle, and especially how Abba handled things emotionally and how he handled things communicatively. As time goes on, during the pregnancy, I still start to feel even more anxious and more nervous. And I think I start to confuse my anxiousness with being with Abba or moving forward with Abba with my confusion and anxiousness with the pregnancy and if I wanted to continue the pregnancy or not. And terminating the pregnancy was never in the question. It was something I never wanted to do. But as time kept going in the relationship, I still felt like it was pretty rocky. And I talked to Abba and I said, maybe an abortion is something we should do, even if that isn't what I wanted at all. And Abba was not happy with it. Abba was quite disappointed, and he tried to support the decision as much as he could, but you can tell that he was struggling with it a little bit. We make our first appointment for the abortion, and Abba visits me to be there for me, and we don't go through with it that day.
Dang it.
And when he leaves, I make another appointment, and I cancel that one. And I think in total I canceled 3 abortion appointments. And I think, maybe I should give it more time and see if my feelings change. And so I set an appointment for after the trip I had planned to Montreal to visit Abba.
Ooh.
I visit Abba in Montreal, and we get into our biggest fight. And this was a real turning point for me. And I know it's hard to imagine Abba upset, but he does get there.
No, I'm not shocked that he gets that upset. I'm not. I'm really not. Based on the fans and based on everything, I don't know. When it comes to argument's sake, I can get it, gets that mad. But when it comes to relationships, I guess that's something new to me. But I can imagine him very upset. I can imagine it.
And not only does he get there, he goes past the point of the threshold of where anger should stop. Abba resorts to name calling and degrading language and resorts to ridicule and mocking, and it does teeter on the emotionally and verbal abusive side, and I hate to put a label on it like that, but that is truly what it felt like. And
based on what everyone is saying, they have been saying it gets that bad. It does get that bad. So I don't know, man. Just from my normal person opinion, this is just something that should never been on the internet. It's just something that should have been dealt with each other and just agree to disagree and just separate. Or co-parent, does she keep saying?
Don't take my word for it. I will be posting examples in this video or the next video. After that trip, I realized that I always wanted to keep the child, and it was the relationship that needed to be looked at. And so I cancel that last appointment, and I call Abba and I tell him, I'm so sorry for the back and forth, but it was never in my values to terminate the pregnancy. I think I'm anxious about us, and I think it's better if we co-parent. And I was thinking about the kind of environment I would like to raise my child in and everything like that. So Abba's really upset, and we hang up, and he tells me to get the abortion. And he tells
evidence.
me, I don't have anything to say, just get the abortion, and I'll wait for the abortion updates. And I said, I will consider keeping you, I will keep you updated. I will consider what you said over the phone about having the abortion. My values were to ultimately not get it. And he said, just so we're clear, if you change your mind for the 10th time, I will not be involved. And then I kind of snap back a little bit, and I'm like, then don't be. And then he blocks me. And he blocks me for an entire day. And I'm so sorry for the construction in the background. I have to make sure to speak loud. Sorry about that. I said, hey, I need to talk to you about the baby. I'm still blocked. And I tell my cousin to message him to unblock me. And he says, hey, I unblocked you for a second to say stop contacting me. Regardless of what you choose, I will never decide to keep in contact with you. You're not my responsibility. Now don't reach out to me again.
Yeah.
And then if you guys are reading this, I'll mention what's going on here in a minute. But I said, why did you block me after you wanted updates? He says, because I don't want updates. Sorry I wasn't clear, so I'll be clear. I don't want to ever hear from you again.
Ouch.
He says, keep it or don't. I don't need updates. If you do this solo, good luck. If you don't, keep it. Great. And then he blocks me again. And I am so exhausted at this point on how Abba handles conflict and how he resorts to shutting down and avoidance and stonewalling. And especially at a time that is very critical and sensitive, I just want to show you this. So this kind of will show you an example of Abba's volatility a little bit. I think within the span of 4 months of our relationship, I think I was blocked like 100 times. And I typed in the word block in my search history for my messages. And the first time he blocked me was in August 7th, the beginning of August. And I think we met in the middle of July. And this was just 3 weeks after we met. And so then he blocks me again at the end of August, and then a few times in September, and then October and November and December. And anytime that you see the word blocked on my end, I'm just telling him like, hey, can you unblock me? You still have me blocked from Instagram or something. And that doesn't stop there. I now type in the word blocking, which is different from blocked, but I still have a bunch of where he's like, I'm blocking you here. And I put blocking here because I didn't block him here. I was telling him like, hey, you keep blocking. And yeah, so now I'm blocked and I'm upset. I am 9 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling emotional. I'm hormonal, all these changes. And I don't want to blame it on that specifically because I knew that I was also exhausted from the dynamic of Ab and I. And so this is a blemish on my part in all of this.
At least she admitted the blemish part. At least.
Screenshot of Abba's message saying that he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I pretend to send it to Myron Gaines. And I never do it, and I never did do it. But
okay, you were thinking of sending it. Everyone keeps saying she did send it. She did send it to Myron Gaines. You know, but she says no, she didn't send it.
To like, I was fighting back a little bit.
But he's gonna watch this video. He's gonna watch this video and things are gonna go crazy.
But again, I never did it. And I also messaged the Ab and Breach page. And I tell him this. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up here so you guys can view and pause if you like. And he just responds, hey, blackmailer, stop reaching out. And Abba gets very upset because now Preach sees these messages and now Preach knows that his girlfriend is pregnant. Now Preach knows Abba's girlfriend is pregnant. And Abba calls me at some point, and this is just another example of how Abba does talk to me when he does get upset. So I don't answer because I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm hungry and I'm like sick. I'm in my first trimester and I don't answer. And he says, I don't care, bye, blocked. I'm trying to eat. Hey, I was really trying to get something to eat. I haven't eaten. He says, parasite, I don't care, eat, shit, sleep.
You call out parasite, my friend. That was messed up. That was a messed up part. Each star on my camera. Is it still here? Frozen still. Dang it. What's wrong with this thing now? You called the girl a parasite. That now. Everyone's saying that you didn't do. Nah, that was abuse. Nah, that was just verbal abuse, if I have to say so myself, bro. Calling a girl parasite. Calling a girl parasite, bro. That's just too far, G. Too far. And my camera froze. My camera. Damn it, I'll leave like this. And I'm back. Great. Okay. You call her a parasite, bro. Blackmailer. Based on everything I've seen from his side and her side, bro, this situation is just crazy. Bro. It's like, bro, this is just so immature, bro. You shouldn't have brought it on the internet. Now it's on the internet. Now things are going crazy, bro. People are arguing back and forth. People are saying she's a liar. He's what. This was not meant to be on the internet. This was not meant to be on the internet. That's all I want you all to know. This was not meant to be on the internet, okay? This was just a private situation. And now we're involved. Now we know about everything that's going on in their lives. And I wish we didn't know. Okay? I wish we didn't. She's going to get to it of what happened to the kid. Oh, man. It's just the live stream got members only and I didn't pay members only. So, yeah, that's all you need to know, that I can't view the video anymore. But the point is, he kept saying this and this. Everyone just saying she's a lie, she's manipulated. Yeah, she took accountability here and there for it. There are points where she did lose me and stuff like that, but it's like, this was not meant to be on the internet. This was just not meant to be on the internet. Because she was going through it, bro. You're not helping, bro. You're not. Then she says the relationship, you took offense to that. Then now we're in this situation. It's crazy, okay? No one wants to be in this situation. No one wants to deal with this. Ah, man. Parasite, bro. Parasite.
I want my peace back. I want you gone. So hurry up. You made 9 accounts harassing me, blackmailing. So he's talking about my cousin reaching out and sending him messages. And I finally, he calls again and we finally get on a phone call. This is the most brutal phone call. And it does reflect everything that I had mentioned before, that it was verbal and emotionally abusive and contain a lot of dehumanizing language and degrading language. And I actually have the phone call right here, but I cannot play it because Abba can file legal action against me. And in this phone call, he also says, I will never meet the baby.
Okay.
I will never look at the baby in the face. I will never know its name. And if I do, I will make sure to tell them that their mother was disgusting and horrible. And he says that he will make sure he's never a part of the baby's life. And I know you can't picture Abba saying this. But
Actually, I can. I can picture him saying that. Based on the amount of people he's argued with, dealt with, and the way he talks, how he escalates things, I know he can be funny here and there, but I can imagine him saying this thing. I can. I really can.
That's it. And after that, I never hear from Abba again. 3 days go by, and I am desperate to talk to him. And I contact Preach through Instagram, and Preach doesn't want anything to do with it, which is understandable. And I just kind of leave it alone after that. Week 1 goes by, and I don't hear anything from Abba. Week 2 goes by, I don't hear anything from Abba. And then now we're at week 3. And I know 3 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're trying to figure out a situation as critical as this one, and you're so desperate to talk to the father of the baby, 3 weeks felt like a very long time. And week 4 comes up, and I now have to make a decision. And I have to make a decision based off what the reality is. The reality is that Abba completely left me for dead.
Yeah.
And Abba walked out on the pregnancy, and he is now absent from this entire thing. And he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, and he doesn't want anything to do with me, and I make the hardest decision I ever had to make, and it was a very painful decision, but I end up having the abortion. And
the baby gone. She took away the baby. The baby is no more. The baby's no more. Yeah, the baby's no more.
Grieved very hard. And I was also grieving the relationship with Abba. I knew that I found all of these incompatibilities, but I did still love him a lot. And I was feeling very lost.
Back
and
again.
Truly some of my darkest days.
Yeah.
And I think,
again, not taking sides, but I have to just point out this is just issues on both sides. I'm not taking sides. I'm just like pointing out the situation that this is messed up. Gee, this is messed up. Like me personally, I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't want to be in this situation, you know. But this happened. They're in this situation. It happened. He was involved in the first 3 times. But then after that, then she realized the relationship was a problem. Then she wanted to keep the kid and co-parent. He didn't want that. He wanted a certain life. Look, my G, should I change my camera for this? I don't know if I should. Should I change my camera? Or should I turn on the other camera? The point, the camera's gone again. Sorry again. I don't know what's happening today, man. It's just like, this is on you, man. Like, this is on you and her. It's like, y'all just crazy, man. Because y'all should have made an effort lately. Y'all should have made an effort just to save yourselves, but y'all were just not thinking maturely about the situation, you know. Y'all were not. Y'all were just... I'm not making sense. I'm trying to make sense. I'm just too distracted by my camera keep glitching on and off. Okay, I'm sorry. The point is, like, yes, she opened the legs. This situation wasn't meant to be on the internet. That's what I'm trying to say. But you gave her the kid, and it's her choice to keep the kid, not yours. You wanted this perfect life or whatever, dude. Not your choice, really. Not your choice, sadly enough. Not your choice. I can't. You can't. It's because you did this. You chose this, man. You're a grown man. I have people saying she's 30 and he's 36. Y'all are grown. Y'all are grown adults. This should have been off the internet. But after you gave her the seed, it was her choice afterwards. It was her choice afterwards, man. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Abba. And I can really imagine him saying all these things. I can. I've watched this content for too long. I can imagine him saying all these things. So yeah, it's believable.
Abba will never get a hold of me again, and he really doesn't care to reach out, but he does. So a week after the abortion, I hear from him on Instagram, And this is what he says. He says, "For me to plan things, I need clarity on a few things, whether you intend to continue the pregnancy and what level of involvement you foresee for me. I should be clear that I still have no plans to co-parent. I'm not messaging to discuss the relationship or here to argue, just the above." And he is messaging me a lot, and it's because I'm not responding to him. And one thing I realized about Abba is Abba thinks a certain way. Abba also likes things done a certain way. And if things are not followed through in the way that he wants, you will see a reaction from him. And, this is one of those times, like, I'm not responding, and he is insulting me, saying I'm doing all these things, and I'm not, doing those things, and I'm like, I'm not getting engaged with this type of communication, but he does lash out. And I thought about the pregnancy, and I thought, Abba never cared about the child. He only cared about, this dream that he had. But that's not really how it works. We both have this responsibility. And I didn't do it the way he pictured it. And I can understand that also. But, this is so far removed from what he would support on his channel and promote on his channel. And so, I said, I left you alone since I reached out to Preach a month ago. And he's saying, like, no, you're, like, still calling me. And I'm still trying to reach him. I said, no, I never called you. I said, I've left you alone since, like, my last contact with Preach. I said, you didn't want anything to do with the baby. I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to engage in this kind of communication, Abba, because he keeps messaging me. And he sends this little okay liar thing. Remember, I said that Abba can act in a way of, like, mocking and ridicule and a little, sometimes immature. But, yeah, I said,
not a little,
that's what you wanted.
a lot.
You didn't want anything to do with the baby. And to this day, Abba feels extremely justified with leaving the pregnancy. This is one of our last messages. This was about a month ago, and there was a little tension in this conversation, and we were going back and forth a bit, and I said, you still haven't apologized for abandoning me and our baby. I only apologize. And he said, because it's your fault. You cut me out of the relationship and the fatherhood. I'm saying, I have to go now, okay? And he said, I have always believed that it was your fault. I said, it was a responsibility that was both of ours. And I said, I needed more security from you. And he said that you didn't want the baby. And he's talking about when I was going back and forth from before the Montreal trip. And when I realized, this relationship is probably not sustainable. And this is something I am still healing from. And something I think about often, and I'm still grieving. And I do feel like it was wrong. And I did feel like it was wrong at the time, but after some time passes, I really think that this wasn't the way it should have gone. And I'll be posting more examples of my interaction with Abba and the dynamic and this repetitive cycle I experienced with him. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Okay, let me fix my camera real quick. It's just a big issue. I'm sorry. There it is. Sorry, I have to continue the video on this one, because my phone is not responding, so my bad, guys. So I'll continue it here. Sorry, my phone just keeps not responding very well when the Wi-Fi is not responding. I don't know, man. Look, all I can hear from this situation is this is not meant to be on the internet. These are two adults that are acting, on her part, she's acting she was nervous. She was going through pregnancy. On Abba and Preach stream, he was saying that he was hormonal, right? He was accountable at first. Then Preach came in. Then it was all blame me here and there, It was very wrong at some point. The whole stream was like going in on her, saying that she's a liar. Bro, look, too wrong. Two things can be true at the same time. That's all I'm thinking here, right? I'm not calling her a liar, manipulator, or baby mama situation, whatever, right? Based on what I'm seeing and what he's showing on his side, and the context that he showed, I can't watch that video because it's members only now. Before I could watch it. I'll post that one later because I did watch it. I watched everything recorded. This is just what you see now. Sorry. What I can tell you is, right, one, I'm not picking sides. I don't give a damn, right? This situation is too crazy. I'm not even sure if I'll watch Aaron Preach after this, right? Because the situation to me is, first, this was not meant to be on the internet. Two, when you gave her that kid, it's her decision to keep the kid or not. It's not on you, bro. Thirdly, your idea of this happy family, y'all be together, it's not reality, G. It's not reality. You gave her the kid. It's her decision. Her body, her choice. What we keep saying, right? Her decision. Then she realized she only knew you for a few months. They started dating. They started knowing each other from 25 July, bro. Last year. How do you know a person that, like, when she was going through these conflicts, boom, bada boom, she's pregnant? Y'all are not responsible. Y'all. He was the more messed up one, based on what I'm seeing so far and what I know further. He was the more messed up one, calling you parasite, calling you this and that. On his stream, he's antagonizing you. Preach comes in, antagonizing you, saying this and this. This is not meant to be on the internet. It's gonna go crazy. People are gonna see this video. People are gonna talk about it. It's gonna go hella crazy. All I can say to this chick is good luck. Have a nice life, I guess, because it's been Abin Preach. I mean, it's been Triple Lens came with another video, man. Peace. This is just no. Just no, man.